The BMW X7 has only been on sale for 6 years, but it has already made a big statement as a luxury SUV with impressive features and competitive pricing. BMW plans to keep up their momentum on the sales charts with their 2025 BMW X7 XDrive40i. With the prices rising, not everybody is able to afford a brand new X7, so is used the best way to go, and should you buy it over the Cadillac Escalade, Infiniti QX80, or Mercedes GLS? Let's dive into this 2023 model and see what it's all about. Let's begin with the pricing and the trim level. The X7 comes in 2 different trim levels, and they actually have nothing to do with the amount of luxury or the features. We have the base XDrive40i model, which means that this one has the inline 6-cylinder engine. You can step up to the M60i model to get a twin-turbo V8. You can't go wrong with either trim level, it's just a matter of what you need from your X7 and the amount of money you're willing to pay. The 2025 BMW X7s are quite pricey, with the XDrive40i starting at $84,000 and the M60i starting at $111,000. The one that we are testing today would have been about $97,000 if it was brand new, but with about 23,000 miles on it, this one is about $66,000. But now let's see if this is worth the price. Starting with the exterior design, you'll find the signature BMW kidney grille, a functional vent at the bottom, and the headlights are going to be fully LED. You get an LED daytime running light, a projector-style headlamp, and fading LED turn signals. This does have the same split headlight design that you get with the 7 Series sedan. As far as the wheels are concerned, you get a wide variety of options with the X7, ranging from 21 inches to 23 inches. We have the smallest of the bunch, which is a 21-inch alloy wheel with a split-spoke design. I think this should fit most people's needs. Moving on to the side profile, you're going to get a lot of chrome if you choose the luxury package like this hockey stick molding at the bottom and the window surrounds. You're going to find body-colored fenders and the executive package with throwing soft closing doors. The mirrors are going to be fully loaded with heating, blind spot monitoring, auto dimming, and power folding, and they will unfold and fold when you unlock and lock the car. Moving to the back, you'll find these trapezoidal exhaust ports, an optional tow hitch, and these incredible looking taillights. They will be fully LED with an LED brake light, an LED reverse light, and a fading LED turn signal. They will have animations and incredible detail. Towing capacity is 7,500 pounds. Now let's take a look at the interior and see all the features that you get with the executive package. There is a lot to expect from the flagship BMW SUV at $100,000, so let's dive right into all the details. The door panel is going to have stitched leatherette at the top, some more stitched leatherette in the cognac color in the middle part. All of your switches are going to be in aluminum, including the trunk release. You'll find more aluminum with ambient lighting, open portwood trim, and a massive door pocket that can actually fit a 32-ounce water bottle in the bottle holder. The illuminated door sills are standard equipment on the X7, and moving to the seats, these will be finished in cognac Sensafin leatherettes. You can get extended merino leather if you choose, but I think this is realistic enough, and plus you get 20-way power adjusting, heating, ventilation, and massage with the executive package. Now that we're inside the X7, there is certainly a lot to talk about here. Starting with the steering wheel, you'll see that it is very nicely leather wrapped and heated, and you even get a leather airbag cover. Your buttons are going to be in aluminum, so the left side is going to control your cruise control, and the right side is for your gauge cluster. You also get aluminum paddles. The gauge cluster is going to be very configurable. Using the right side of the steering wheel, you can go through many different things, from the layouts to the head-up display to what content is displayed on the gauge cluster. Moving on to materials, you will not be disappointed in the X7. You get leatherette on your dashboard, however you can get leather if you choose extended merino leather for your seats. You get a lot of different wood trim options, but today we have the fine line open pore wood trim. You get ambient lighting through here, and you get a lot more wood down here. Also, your controls for your iDrive and your shifter is going to be made of glass. Storage in the X7 is certainly not bad. Slide this back for 2 heated and cooled cup holders with a wireless phone charger. In the center console, you are going to find a pretty good amount of room with felt lining. However, the competitors like the Cadillac Escalade will offer a little bit more, and the Escalade even offers an optional cool box. Climate controls have been changed up a lot for the X7. They are all going to be integrated into this iDrive8 interface. So at the bottom here, if you click that, all of your climate controls are going to pop up. So you can control the heated steering wheel right here, the heated and ventilated seats. You can actually put them on at the same time, which is really cool. You can adjust the fan speed. And then, of course, the passenger can do the same thing. The X7 has 5 zones of climate total if you choose the climate comfort package, which we have today. Dual zone up front, the 3rd and 4th zone in the back seats, and then the 5th zone in the 3rd row. Very nice and pretty much class exclusive if you're not counting the Mercedes GLS. People might not like the idea of putting the climate controls on the screen, but it really does clean up the interior design. In addition to heated and ventilated seats, you also get massaging seats, which you can control over here. There are a lot of different modes that you can choose from, like back, shoulder, lumbar, upper body, anything that you really want. And you can also adjust the intensity if that makes it better. Also, another nice thing over here, 2-person memory seats on both sides, and you can actually control the back. So I can just click left seat, and then it's actually going to move the left seat. Now we need to move on to this 14.9-inch iDrive8 infotainment system. This was all new for 2023, and it is running BMW's latest software. I really like all of these tiles on the home screen in that you can add your own different widgets. You can look at things such as the time or also the weather. If you want to go into all of the apps, you can do so right here, and there certainly are a lot of them. You get wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, built-in navigation, which is very responsive, and this is actually the old navigation system, so you're in luck if you really like this. There are so many cool things that you can do with the X7's infotainment system, and I'm only going to touch the surface. First of all, you have the personal assistant. You can say something like, "Hey BMW," and once it is set up, you can say something like, "Heat my seat." It will know that the driver said that, and it will heat the driver's seats. Of course, you can do the opposite and say, "Ventilate my seat" or "Cool my seats," and it will do just the same. That is something that not a lot of cars can do, and you're very lucky if you get a BMW and you take advantage of that feature. Also, you have gesture controls. It doesn't always work if you try to decrease the volume, but it always works when you try to increase the volume. I wonder why. Of course, there is a Harman Kardon audio system as standard equipment. There are 16 speakers, but if you really want the best, you can option on a Bowers & Wilkins sound system, and I think it is absolutely worth it because first of all, the speakers will illuminate at night, and second of all, they're going to be metal. There are only 4 more speakers, but it has a total of 1500 watts, and that is quite a lot. Now let's take a look down here. You're going to find your drive modes right here. You have a hill descent control, an electronic parking brake. This is for your air suspension. And then you have this iDrive controller in case you do not want to get anything dirty. You have some more controls down here if you want to pull up the navigation or the map. It will do just that. And then you also have this glass shifter. When you put it in drive, nothing really is going to happen, but when you put it in reverse, you're going to get a very high resolution backup camera. You get a 360-degree view, and when you click more, you have a 3D view available. You can use the gesture controls to go around it. Doesn't always work, but as you can see, I'm doing a pretty good job with that. You also have pre-planned points, but I do wish that you could just spin around the car using the touchscreen to go precisely where you want to see. Now, there's nothing wrong with this, but something like an Audi does it a little bit better, where you can just spin around the car and see exactly where you want to go. Now, you also have a backup assistant. So if you're in a tight parking space and you don't really want to get out yourself, you can start the backup assistant. That is actually going to take you out of the parking space the same way you went into it. So that is very nice. You can also record paths at different places in case that is helpful. A few other views right here. You get assist view. So that will show you something over there. I have no idea what that is. You get a panorama view of the back, and then that is the normal view, the parking view, which I think most people are going to choose. Top here, you're going to find a standard rear view mirror, and then you're also going to find this large panoramic sunroof with the Sky Lounge package. At night, all of those little dots that you see are going to light up, and it looks so cool. Now let's take a look at the passenger side and see what kind of features you get on the other side of the interior in the X7. The door panel will be made of the same material, so you get leather, open plywood trim, a lot of storage, and aluminum trim. You also get 2-person memory seats and a massage unit. The seats will be the same as the driver's side, so you get this quilted and perforated cognac sensitive leatherette with heating, ventilation, and massage. They are also 20-way power adjusting, so you can do cool things like adjust the bolsters, and you can adjust the thigh extension, which could be nice for some taller folks. The passenger side gets a very nicely appointed interior. Right in front of you is some open plywood trim, and you also get this leatherette dashboard with stitching. Right below that is an interactive ambient light bar, and you get some more wood trim through the center area to add to the bougie feel. The glove box is going to be very large, which is very good for a full-sized SUV. You also get felt lining, so nothing is going to get scratched in there. And even the outside of the glove box is finished in leatherettes. The seats are going to be massaging, and this is how you control it. There are at least 10 different modes, which can be helpful in case you need the massage in a specific area. There is certainly a lot to talk about in the second row, so let's dive right into it. On the door panel, you get a lot of storage, leatherette on your armrest, open plywood trim, ambient lighting, and a speaker grill. The sunshades on both windows are controlled with buttons on the door, as well as the shade for the panoramic sunroof. The seats will have these dangerously comfortable pillows, and they will be made of this quilted and perforated cognac sensitive leatherettes. These seats will also be heated and 6-way power adjusting. I like that you get the power adjusting as standard equipment on the X7 and you don't have to pay for it, because this can be very convenient. If the third row is folding down and the seat is reclined back too far, the seat back will actually move forward as long as nobody is in it, so that the third row can actually fold down. And also you can control the seat from the front. I like that you get extra vents in the B pillar, and moving to the center, you'll find a fold down armrest with storage and felt lining. You're also going to get cup holders, but I just don't know why the armrest has to be so firm. On the back of the seat, you'll find a USB-C port, an iPad mount, and a seat back pocket. The back of the seat is going to be made of soft touch plastic so that you can clean it a little bit easier. In the center, you'll find 2 vents and the third and fourth on the climate control. You also get heated seats on every model. Now, there's also going to be a little storage area right under that, and to wrap things up, you'll find 2 USB-C ports and a 12-volt outlet. Now let's move on to the third row of seats, because this is perhaps the most important part about the BMW X7. To get into the third row, you will have to push a button, and that will electronically move the seat out of the way. Yes, it can take a little while, but it is very convenient. In the third row, you get a lot of nice amenities. There is this leatherette armrest, some more leatherette trim, ambient lighting, a cup holder, and up top you're going to find a ceiling vent along with a nice and large window. In the middle, you'll find a 5th zone of climate control and heated seats. There is also going to be a sunroof up top with a powered shade. The BMW X7 is pretty much in a class of its own when it comes to third row luxury. For example, the Jeep Grand Wagoneer is the only other vehicle that has a sunroof in the third row, and it doesn't even come as standard equipment. The Mercedes GLS is the only other vehicle in the segment that has a 5th zone of climate control. I think that all these features are pretty crazy, and if you are willing to compromise a little bit of space in the third row, I think this would be perfect. Last but certainly not least, you can fold up or fold down the third row from the second row. I think this design is very clever, because in case you forgot to fold up the third row because you forgot that you were taking some people around, you don't have to go all the way around to the trunk to fold up the third row. You can just simply do it from the second row. Another very important aspect of the BMW X7 is the cargo area, so let's dive right into that. Of course, in typical BMW fashion, you do get the clamshell opening tailgate, so you can use the bottom part as a bench, or you can also keep groceries from rolling out if you are parked on an incline. You can also lower the air suspension so that loading in cargo is a little bit easier. Underneath the floor, there's going to be a surprising amount of space. You can also get a space saver spare. I am just surprised at how far back it goes. You can push these buttons over there if you want to lower down the seats. You can push one of the shortcut buttons like max luggage, and that will fold down all of the seats. I really like how the power seats all work together so that all of them can fold down easily and efficiently. The third row will fold down first, and then the second row will slide all the way back and then fold down. Just note that if you get the captain's chairs, they will not be able to fold flats. They will only be able to move out of the way by moving all the way forward. Let's talk dimensions really quick. With the third row up, you'll find 12.8 cubic feet of space, which is not very good for the segment, but I think it will be good enough for most families. Behind the second row, you'll find 48.6 cubic feet of space, and as maximum, there will be 90.6 cubic feet. As you just saw, I clicked the max people button, so that is going to do the opposite of what the max luggage button does. The third row is going to fold up first, so the second row is going to move up, and the first row is going to move up so that the second row can fold up easily. It's fascinating how all this works, and I think more brands should adopt this. Perhaps the most important part about any BMW is the powertrain. The BMW X7 has two options. The XDrive40i has a 3-liter 6-cylinder engine with a mild hybrid, and the M60i has a 4.4-liter twin-turbo V8 also with a mild hybrid. We have the XDrive40i, so we have the 3-liter inline 6-cylinder engine. This one has 375 horsepower and 383 pound-feet of torque. All of that is mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy is not bad at all for the segment, at 21 in the city, 25 on the highway, and 22 combined. I find it funny that a lot of people refer to this as the base powertrain because there is nothing basic about this. 0 to 60 in 5.5 seconds sounds very good to me. Let's see an acceleration test. Moving on to competition, the X7 faces stiff competition in the full-size luxury SUV segment. Its primary rivals include the Mercedes GLS, Cadillac Escalade, Jeep Grand Wagoneer, Lincoln Navigator, and Infiniti QX80. Among these, the Mercedes GLS stands out as the closest competitor in terms of price and size to the X7. Looking at dimensions, the X7 is 203 inches long and 79 inches wide. Well, that is going to wrap up today's video on this 2023 BMW X7 XDrive40i. The BMW X7 continues to be a compelling choice within its segment, offering a comprehensive array of luxurious amenities and a highly responsive powertrain. However, those of you that prioritize more trunk space and overall interior roominess might find a more suitable option in the Cadillac Escalade. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.